Hey guys, and welcome. How are you? I would love hearing how you are all feeling the energies now. It's certainly interesting, a lot going on. And I'm going to share, I think this will be a rather quick video. I'm going to share some messages that have been coming in over the last days. And I apologize in advance if I mix up some words or have to rearrange my sentences a few times because I haven't had much sleep for some days. A lot going on during the night. But I'm really being pushed to show up and give these messages. So here I am. The first thing, well, I can start with showing up because that's a big point that I have been making. It's really, really important now that we are showing up for ourselves and showing up for what we are being called to. Being in that space, because the first thing that often comes to mind if we hear something like that is, what about my loved ones? What about other people? What about, there's, many layers of what and who we are asked to show up to in our lives. And what I said, that it's going to be such sudden changes in the coming months, and really a lot of them. And so showing up for yourself and honoring when you need rest, honoring when you need to move your body, honoring and really honoring yourself and what you need, and having that self-care is really important. And also to actually step into what you're being asked to do when you have clarity on it and not hold yourself back from it. And that is not meant as a message of that clarity having to be there at this moment, but whenever you feel like, oh, I feel called to do this, or to speak this, or to create this, or whatever it is, whether it feels big or small, to do that, to show up for that. By doing that, we are coming back to our heart space. And when we are in our heart space, we are showing up for those around us as well, because it's not coming from the frequency of guilt or I should do this, or all these patterns and these programs. So these programs are falling away. Belief systems keep falling away, and I'm laughing because it's a lot of them that are coming up to be released now. And really showing up is one of those things that will put us back in the heart space and will make us step into our own truth and step out in the world from a different frequency. And when it comes to stepping into action, that I've been talking about in a few videos lately, that's going to it's sort of mixed with these messages. So showing up to what you feel called to do, taking action, stepping into action, not holding ourselves back, is very important. And that comes from that clarity and that those sudden changes that will happen. If you don't have that clarity now, it will come, is what they're showing, because there will be such sudden changes that it will be just really clear what to do. Also with these energies coming up from the inner earth that I was referring to in, I think, my last video. Yeah, I think so. Those together with the energies coming in from the universe, and the shifts and the whole energetic shift we've been going through now, is activating more of our blueprint. And the relocation that I was also referring to in my last video, that is being prepared energetically, is also something that will look very sudden, that certain people will feel called, and that's that clarity and calling and knowingness again, that I have to be at that place, or I'm going there. And this has to do with all the energies and the shifts going on now, because all of this is activating more of our blueprint, meaning it's things we chose before incarnating, before we came in here, and it's being activated now. So a lot of people will experience that they feel a very sudden change in perspective, a very sudden change in what they want to sort of do with their life, or where they feel they need to be, and that, like, what they're also saying about this is that it's very important to become really clear now, before these sudden changes are coming. And that's a bit funny in and of itself, having lived 2020. But the way they're talking is that now is like really starting with those changes. And can you change without shame? Because they say that when these very sudden changes comes, whether it is a total change in perspective, whether it is a very sudden change in how you appear in the world, whether it is a very sudden change about where in the world you will sort of station yourself, relationships, like work, what type of thing you create, like anything. When we have that sudden change, there is often a feeling of shame, because we make what we have done wrong, or we either like having to do with the past and we're making that wrong, or we are being shamed for suddenly changing, because this is not who you are, this is not who you have always been, and like people coming from this space and this frequency of belittling others, and they're saying be really, really aware of where you're shaming yourself when it comes to changes in your own life. Take a look at last year and see the changes you've been going through. Look at both the shame, where have you been shaming yourself, where have you been feeling shame, and where are you blaming yourself. Those goes hand in hand. And try to become really clear about the belief system and the beliefs you have underneath those, and what have really triggered, what belief systems are triggered of change that has to do with shame and self-blame. I think last year we became a lot more aware of our own fear, and shame and self-blame is really important now, because those holding those frequencies and being in those frequencies are going to hold ourselves back when the changes are starting to happen more quickly. That's why it's good to start working on that awareness, if you haven't already. They also say, and this is not new, but it's increasingly important, is to listen within. Listen to yourself. Shut out the world when you need it. Come back to yourself, find your breath, come into your body. More of our physical bodies are activating, are coming on board. If we keep going out of our bodies, we will get more confused, we will feel more chaotic. Being in our bodies and getting to know the body with these changes, and remember that literally your body, your being now is not the same as a month ago or a week ago. The changes are happening fast. and take the time to tune in, to feel into what is happening. It can be releasing and it can be activations. Activations meaning that you're accessing something more that was already within you. And to really come back and listen within, because the light or a teacher or all these kind of words and a lot of things and structures will be, I'm trying to find the right words now, will also be changing, will suddenly not be what it seemed to be. And there will be great divides between people in what they believe and what they sort of attach to as being the truth. And it's very easy to in that situation start to just ask whoever, like, what do you think, what do you think, what do you think, and try to find somewhere to, or someone to rely on and sort of adapt their truth. But it's important now more than ever to feel within and to follow your own guidance. And if you don't feel your own guidance, just relax, come back to your own body. You don't have to figure it out right now or right in the moment, or like it will come to you, but keep coming back to yourself. You can always seek guidance, that being from a teacher, from some sort of a healing facilitator. It can be friends, it can be a book. Like, seek guidance and talk with people, but always come back to yourself afterwards and feel into, does this resonate for me? And there will be different things resonating with different people for a reason. People will start, they're showing me, to gravitate towards more different things with all these changes, and that has to do with the sort of organization of the energetic pattern on the planet. That has also to do with the energy coming up from the inner earth, which ties into that, the whole thing about relocations as well. That was coming in right now. I hope that made sense. Just watching my notes here. Yeah, so follow your own discernment. Come back to yourself, listen within, and use your discernment, and come back to trusting yourself. Really, really, really come back to yourself. We all have access to our own truth. It can be difficult at times to hear it, to find it. It can sometimes be very easy to see a situation of someone else and more difficult to see our own situation. But it's practice. If we choose to come back to ourselves over and over again, and we shut the world out for a bit and we are in stillness with ourselves, it will come. And then the last thing I think I'm going to mention right now is the importance, they keep repeating throughout the days now, of drinking water, being by water if you can, or have a bath, sit by the ocean, by a lake, by a river, a creek, be in nature, shut off for a while, be in nature, ground, feel into the energy in the nature, Surround yourself as much as you can by water and drink plenty of water. Yeah, and rest when you need it, and move when you need it. So both rest and movement is something they say is very important now. Yeah, I think that's the most important things to mention right now. Please share if you know someone who can have help and assistance of this. I would love to hear how you're experiencing this time. I hope you have a lot of compassion for yourself, for the people around you. Nurture yourself and show up for yourself. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.